Hello, everyone. This is the channel where we bring you the latest and greatest in innovations and tech in crypto, in, well, decentralized finance, specifically on Pulse Chain, and even more specifically in the Jacob ecosystem of projects on Pulse Chain. And wow, we have some news, don't we? Tonight, we are going to see price calls on Pulse Predict called Up Down, the Up Down game. The Up Down game goes live tonight. Before we get into Pulse Predicts, because that's going to be the main focus of tonight, I'd like to just run through basically everything, right? It's Thursday. Thursday is usually when I try and do my updates across the whole Jacob ecosystem. Let me just fix this mic here. Quickly, we'll have a look in the chat, see who's here. So we've got Make the Money Get Rich is asking, is the name still Thank You CZ? No, the name is going to be changing. I don't know what the name is going to be yet, because Jacob is keeping it a secret because he can. But yeah, the name is going to change. I think it's actually a good idea to change the name now. If we really think about it, right? We're saying thank you to a guy who just got convicted and is going to do jail time for crypto. So I don't know. Some people see him as a hero. Some people don't see him as a hero. So either way, it kind of makes sense to change the name. But it is going to be launching in 2 weeks. It is going to be launching on the Binance Smart Chain or the BNB chain. All of these projects, which are passive income earners, really, they reward people in inflation of the token, right? But they usually do inflation of the token on a massive scale, and it gets out of hand, and then they just kind of die a death. Something Jacob is very conscious of. He doesn't want anything to be like that. He wants the yield to be real yield, actual yield, which is earned. That is something which is definitely going to be coming across to Thank You CZ, or whatever the name is going to be, right? We don't know what the name is going to be. If you are new, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you're kept up to date when we do these videos. We do a lot of lives. But there are other videos which are actually already recorded. I've actually done a bunch of them that will come out, things like tutorials and stuff like that. If there is something that you would like to see specifically covering about any of Jacob's projects, let me know, and we can definitely get to that. As I said, tonight is Pulse Predict night. New games coming to Pulse Predict, price predictions. It's called Up Down. It's going to be a lot of fun when that launches. There's, as with everything with Jacob's projects, we don't know when that's going to be. We set a time. I think the timer is set for about 1 hour. And if I get some engagement from you guys, we can keep that going, and we, maybe hang around, do some bets, set some bets, show you how easy it all is, and have a bit of crack. Have a bit of crack while we're at it. That's Thank You CZ. It's coming in 2 weeks, right? Tell everybody that you know that it's coming in 2 weeks. As I said before, something which is really, really, really important about Thank You CZ is the fact that the total supply is 1 billion tokens. 800 million of those, so 80% of those tokens are going to the sacrifice set. And the remaining 20 is kept back for selling liquidity and pretty much whatever the team wants to do with them. Right? There might be some giveaway stuff like that. You never know. You never know. None of that is set in stone. That's just an idea. Because 80% of the tokens are given out to the sacrifice set, anybody that wants to buy pretty much has to buy whatever we sell, right? So I can imagine people are going to sell. People have waited a long time for this. People are going to sell. People are going to sell, come out the gate and sell. That's going to happen. It's always going to happen, right? People have waited a long time. But the smart move would be as many people as possible don't sell, because we're in control of all the tokens, and therefore drive price up, right? Make them scarce, drive the price up. In the perfect world, that's how it would be. And we know with what we saw with Thank You Richard Hart, this thing can fly. I mean, the numbers are still out on what actually happened with Thank You Richard Hart, but I mean, I definitely know of a 700x. I haven't sat down and really looked, but some people are saying 2000x. 2000x from the liquidity added? Probably. But yeah, for 700x was quite easy to see. That was launched on a blockchain with 10,000 users. Thank you said is launching on a blockchain with 100 times that. Do the numbers yourself. Think about the numbers yourself. It's mind-boggling what can happen, and we're just at the start of this bull market. It doesn't seem that way, does it? All right, let's take a step back and talk about what's been happening. Right, while we're waiting, I don't think anyone will mind me talking about what's happening in the news now. On drama, I let you guys do whatever you want. You all know me. I don't even get into the drama on the Telegram chats. When you're all bickering at each other, I'm just sitting back, watching it all unfold. It's almost amusing because the whole market is down. It seems like you're all bitching at each other. Please don't. You know, you don't have to be like that. You can enjoy yourself a bit. You can really enjoy yourself a bit. Something that is really interesting about everything that's going on is it's all because the market is down. The whole market is down. Everything is down, right? This isn't because one project is, I mean, look, projects come and go all the time. We know we've got this whole meme thing going on now in Pulse Chain. That by itself is actually quite amusing to me. I just think because the whole market is down, and you know, people see some red candles and they're like, "Oh my God, it's the end of the world, the end of the world." But look, me personally, I've been here since I don't know, the end of 2020, start of 2021, or end of 2021. I can't even remember now. But I'll tell you what, I rode out this bear market. I rode it out, right? And we are Pulse Chain stack. Yes, everything is down. But I looked at someone's chart the other day, and it was the Bitcoin halving chart. And the Bitcoin halving chart, according to that, everything was happening right now, literally a week or two after the Bitcoin halving. It's playing out exactly as it should do, right? I think the people that are expecting the Bitcoin halving to happen, and then immediately from that day for the next 18 months or whatever, it's going to be, a massive bull market. I think you can't expect things like that. We're in it now. We're here, right? Personally, I commented on someone's Twitter the other day. I think it was Hexpimp that did it. Hexpimp, if you're around, say hello. It'd be good to have you around the other night. Right now, there are, I would think, without too much speculation, I don't really speculate on a lot of these coins that come out. I've got my tried and trues, and I know exactly what helps, and especially the Jacob ecosystem coins, because we know the upside for all of those. One thing about Pulse Predict that I think is going to be really cool are these little bets that are coming. Anyone that doesn't know, okay, so up down is coming. Up down is basically price call bets that you can set for 10 minutes time, 30 minutes time, or 1 hour's time. Okay, so you can set a bet. Example, X is going to go up X amount in the next 10 minutes. When you create your bet, you're locking in that price at that time. Okay, that bet will run for 10 minutes. During that 10 minutes, someone has to take the other side of that bet, obviously. And then at the end of that 10 minutes, you or the other person has to manually end that. So you manually end that price call. And then when that price call gets ended, that's when the bet gets decided, win or lose. Right? No, let's say if you create one of the price calls for 30 minutes and you nip downstairs for a cup of tea and you forget about that bet. At the end of that 30 minutes, the bet is still active until it gets called, right? Until it gets called. So you have to keep that in mind all the time. Now, this is the way it will run on an ongoing basis. But for the beginning, Jacob and team have decided any bet that is not taken be automatically closed after 30 minutes. Imagine if you created a bet for $100 on really small liquidity. Okay, you could create a bet. If you had the funds, you could literally create a bet. You could go and manipulate the market by buying a load of those tokens, shoot the price up, and win the bet. Okay, so it's almost like an arbitrage opportunity, really. There are definitely ways that whales can come in and manipulate these games. You could literally, I hate to say it, but it has to be said, you could literally crash someone else's token bet if the liquidities were small, or if you had big enough back. So some of the whale games that can be played with this are going to be very, very, very sticky. Very sticky. You could literally manipulate someone's token. You could literally like crash someone's token just for the sake of the bet. Let's take a quick look, see where we are with PulseX, shall we? Or sorry, with PulsePot. PulsePot, I love watching PulsePot. I still think that PulsePot is going to be one of the absolute flyers for us ongoing. Obviously, we've had a huge pullback in price because Pulse is down. So we went from what, nearly 21 down to $3. Doesn't matter. I think that doesn't matter because I don't think that those prices are congruent. The whole market is in. It's murder. It's murder out there. The whole market is the color of that wheel right now. Absolute murder. Look at this win streak counter, guys, and tell me, right? We can see here that this 9E43 had a 36 consecutive win streak. 36 consecutives. He also had a 30 and he also had a 25. That's how much some of these guys are playing this game. Godwin one's got 30. He's at a 25. I remember looking at this literally 2 weeks ago. And 2 weeks ago, Rectum had the highest, and that was a 28. So that 94.3 is absolutely coming in and flying with this thing. Wow. I'm really, really surprised at that. I think that's pretty cool. People are playing these games non-stop, guys. I'd love to know, see, because I don't see him playing often, so I'd love to know. I'd love to know what kind of time you'd be able to get a streak. Would it be late night, like really late night, early morning US time? Okay, so if anyone doesn't know, if anyone's tuning in doesn't know, so by playing the games on PulsePot, on the jackpot specifically, so you have a consecutive win counter bonus. So if you win 3 games in a row, you win 1. I think if you win 5 games in a row, you win 10, and that scale goes up. And I think it goes up to actually winning 100 games in a row, which is like you win 1,000. But so far to date, and we launched on the, I'm looking at, I don't know why I'm looking at the calendar. We launched on the 7th of January. And in that time, this guy here, Godwin one, has won 12,500 wrapped PLSP tokens. Those wrapped PLSP tokens, literally, he can use those, unwrap them. When he unwraps them, he will have native PLSP. Now, that is a hell of a lot. That's a serious win. And he won those by playing 3,800 games. So he must be coming in and betting pretty big, because I know the second one, who has played 13,500 games, this Godwin one. I know he bets regularly with around $100, so he's definitely going to be going a bit more. This is sports betting on Pulse Chain. I would have bet that Arsenal would have beaten Bayern, right? I would have said Real Madrid would have beaten Man City. Yes, I would have got that. Look, I'm getting so many good comments here. This is great. Any more games? We are open to suggestions all the time. So any more games that you guys would like to see, or any more tournaments that are coming up and you'd like to see, let us know. You know, it's really about what you guys want to see. If you want to, drop the ideas into TG and we can see about it. I know that with the PulsePredict token, it would be really good to have a DAO going on. One of the things that the DAO can do, the DAO can allow voters to vote on specific sports. I think that's a really good idea as well. This, I mean, can you imagine when there's like 7 or 8 different tournaments on all at the same time, all literally earning fees, which you're going to be buying and burning PLSP token and getting rid of them forever? It's phenomenal stuff. This has the opportunity to really do some wonders. Now that we have price predictions coming soon, but coming tonight, literally should be coming. Oh my God, it would be great if it was coming the next sort of half an hour. But look, we'll wait and see. If it's a thing, now I will tell you all here now, right? We're having some tech issues. I had some tech issues the other night, but I thought I fixed them all. If we're going to continue to have some tech issues, and if PUSDx isn't here, I am absolutely happy to go live again tomorrow, right? Yeah, and maybe on Saturday. Actually, I had the idea to go live on Saturday. I'm going to try and see if I can get some guests to come on this weekend. Actually, I've been talking to a few people. I've been talking to a few people outside of the normal people that we talk to. I think you guys would be very interested in that. We do know, because we have the launch of ThankYouTZ launching on the Binance Smart Chain coming up, it's a good idea to start talking to some of the BNB chain influencers. And I know a bunch of them. So that is definitely something which we can do. Unfortunately, at the moment, we don't know exactly the ins and outs of how ThankYouTZ is going to be starting, right? How it's going to be working. We know it's going to be running on exchange. We know it's going to be real yield. We know there's going to be 5 or 6 different ways to game the system, gamify. I don't mean game the system as in take advantage. I mean gamify the system to make to play the game and hopefully win for yourself, right? We know there's going to be a bunch of stuff coming out like that. Actually, now let's reel it back a little bit. Something which I didn't mention on my last stream from a couple of days ago, that you've all been asking about. Everyone was asking about, thank you, Richard Hart, V4, right? We know it's always been said that V4 will go live definitely after ThankYouTZ, right? The reason that it has to come after, right, is because there are some functionalities in V4 that are going to be utilized for ThankYouTZ, right? They were developed around the same time. Like we say, it's supposed to be like a sister project, so the principle is all the same. And because some of those ideas are literally around the same, it just makes sense to start them with ThankYouTZ, see how they roll out, see how positive they are. I mean, obviously none of these things are set in stone. They come out and they run up and we see what the story is. So it's very important to make sure that things are running hot and things are ticking along nicely in order to launch a really good product. So thank you for coming. I know there was an issue the other day. You guys were saying there was I think it was some problems with staking or something. That's all fixed now, right? That's all fixed. So and that was just a couple of days. Jacob has apologized. It was on his radar and he just didn't get to it in time. That's all. These things happen. So price predictions isn't here yet. Any questions in the chat for me? Let me just go back. Tintop said, not as bad, not freezing. Thanks very much. So we have, so our past events. So we've done a couple of UFCs. We did the March Madness, March Madness was actually the very interesting one, because there was like 15 games, and it was all on the outset, and there was a lot of moving parts. Every day was changing. That was really, really cool. With the PUSDx, right? When this goes live, we'll be able to see. Number one, we'll be able to see how easy it is to create a bet, right? We'll be able to see that you can create these. So these are pretty much these smaller bets. This is one of the first initial rollouts for this. Okay, so you're going to be able to create a price prediction bet, which will happen in a 10-minute time frame, a 30-minute time frame, or a 60-minute time frame. Okay, so you will create a bet to say, let's just say I bet that that Pulse is going to go up by 0.5% in the next 10 minutes. Okay, I'll put my $100 on this. Someone will take the other side of that bet. Now, at the end of that 10 minutes, you or the other person, it doesn't really matter, someone has to publicly end that bet. You publicly call it, because when you create your bet, that's when your price gets grabbed and timed in. At the end of the bet, when you end the call, that's when that price gets tied in. Okay, so remember, if you don't end the call on time, that will just keep running, and you could potentially lose, right? And so I can imagine a world where there will be people on the outside watching these bets, especially just when they're coming up to nearing before the public call actually gets before they get cancelled, right? Before a non-bet is taken up, there will be a lot of people just literally just waiting and watching this. Now, I can imagine, and I actually said this to Jacob, I said, I can imagine people literally just creating a script, a simple script, that will be looking for these bets in order to try and catch them in time. And Jacob said 100%. These people are going to be doing this. People are actually going to be doing this. It's going to get a little bit worrying when real whales start looking at this and start creating huge bets. And in order to win those huge bets, they literally make huge buys to literally manipulate the price of another token out there in order to win a bet. I mean, that would be great for us, because 3% fee goes back to buying and burning Pulse from the DEX and just burning it forever. So that's really cool. Another thing. Okay, let's get onto the fees. So if you win, you would pay a 3% fee. A 3% fee will get taken from your winnings upon winning your bet. If you cancel a bet, so if you create a bet and you see no one has taken up the other side of your bet, but the price action is not going exactly the way you expect it to go, you can cancel. You can cancel. That's if no one has taken. You can cancel up until the time someone else takes your bet. So if the price starts doing something really crazy and you're like, oh my God, I better get out of this before it's not looking good, then you would pay a 1.5% fee. Okay, so 3% on your winnings, cancellation 1.5%. Keep that in mind all the time, please. And also keep in mind that you have to publicly end the call. You have to publicly end your bet. So literally you would say, okay, now 10 minutes is up, press the button. Okay, or 30 minutes is up, press the button, or 60 minutes is up, press the button. That is to basically tie in, lock in your win or lose, I guess. Right. So if you are the winner, if the two people playing and the winning person isn't around to end that bet, and after, even if it's a 10-minute bet, after another 5 minutes, if the price action goes the other way, so even though at the 10-minute time you effectively won the bet, if you weren't there to call it and the price action changes, so the loser becomes the winner and they call it, bad luck for you. Okay, so this is something to keep an eye on. I'm assuming over time we'll all get used to this and it'll start to change, but until then, keep an eye on it. Okay, Tintop said, now this is a good one. How about politics? Yes. I really, really want this. I even actually, when Sam Bankman-Fried was getting sentenced a few weeks ago, I wanted the functionality to be able to create a bet on how much time he was going to get. Now that we know how much time he got, I would have lost because I thought he was going to get about 5-7 years. But he didn't. But then again, wouldn't it have been good to be able to have a bet on how much time CZ just got? He pleaded guilty to all these things and he got 4 months. But then again, look, I'm happy he only got a short amount of time. I don't think anyone should go to jail for a serious amount of time unless you've done something really bad. And to be honest, I don't even really know what he's supposed to have done. I didn't look into it enough. and I'm not going to start looking into it now. Like I said, not interested in the drama. Okay, now with these price prediction betting, it's very, very, very possible that over time we'll start to see some real players start to chip out there a little bit, because they'll be watching, looking for these price prediction bets to start failing. They'll be watching for those. They'll be looking like an arbitrage opportunity. We will start to see some bigger players out there who will literally just be looking at all these small little bets and saying, no, I'll have that, I'll have that, I'll have that. Snap all those up. That's going to happen. We're going to start seeing people, I think. Now, I would think that a savvy coder just like the way that you can set up a grid trading bot, okay, which will literally just buy and sell, buy and sell, buy and sell, based on certain parameters. A savvy coder will literally set up a script for this. They will say, okay, buy this token. Because we know that by utilizing this platform, you earn predict token. You're basically, by using the platform, you're building up an amount of predict token that you will be able to claim after 90 days. Let's have a look. See, 54 more days. So you got 54 more days to earn these tokens before they go live. Now, we don't know the tokenomics of these tokens yet. Jacob hasn't confirmed. I did ask him, but again, this is something that he wants to hold. He wants to play his cards close to his chest, which is absolutely fine. Which I like the suspense of. But we know that by utilizing this, you're earning these tokens. Okay, so we can see here the top wallet has so far earned almost 10 million of these tokens. We'll see these tokens fly up as soon as Champions League is over, because that's what's running right now. We can see the total supply at the moment is 1.1 billion. And okay, anyone listening who doesn't know how to earn, so if you participate in any of the Jacob ecosystem project sacrifices, you will get an allocation. Your activity, literally by using the site, you will get an allocation. By staking PLSP, so if you have PulsePot tokens, if you have them liquid right now, and you come over here and you literally stake them through this, you will get 500 predict tokens for every one PLSP token that you stake. Right? And you are staking these for 90 days. Right? The maximum you can stake is 1,000, and you will earn 500 for every one, and then you will earn a 2% auto compounding fee on that every single day until these 54 days are up. Now, something to bear in mind. There's 54 days to earn these predict tokens. As soon as you stake, you're staking for 90 days, regardless. So at the end of this 54 days, you will still have 40. Well, you will still have what? Yeah. Yeah, that's right. You will still need to wait for your additional days. Okay. Now, remember that. At the end of this 54 days, your stake won't end. Your stake will end after 90 days. If you start a stake on the last day, on day 2, for example, you've only got 2 days of the last day to go, you are still staking for 90 hours. They're all going to be out there. Okay. So bear that in mind. If you're going to get active on these big tournaments that are coming up, maybe have an opportunity there. Because you can still place bets. 26th of May, 26th of May. I think, yeah, so the 54 days is coming up. Tour de France would be a good one too, actually. I really like the idea of that. Yeah, so with pulse predictions, okay, with pulse prediction, there are going to be whitelisted tokens. I've already said that. The whitelisted tokens are the tokens that you can bet on. It's not just going to be the bunch of pretty stable ones, right? I've heard mention there's a token which is dear and very close and dear to my heart, DYOR. That is you're going to be able to bet on that. I'm assuming you're going to be able to bet on a bunch of the Tangan ones. Maybe Ben Armstrong's new token, this Bro token, you're probably going to be able to do that. There'll be a few airdrop, a few whitelisted. And the thing is, these tokens, I wonder if actually going to be Naga's Voodoo Balls token. That'll be interesting. That really just tanked, didn't it? That came out and took a deep dive, but accumulation prices, everything right now, I think this whole market right now is just accumulation prices. I'm really sorry for being choppy tonight, guys. Honestly, I think StreamYard, but StreamYard has always been good so far. You see, when I used to do the streams before, I had a completely different setup. I had a completely different camera setup. Now I've got this thing which does this. Look at those calluses. It's a hard working man, that is. Yeah, so hey, listen, I think it would be actually good to even just wrap this up and continue tomorrow. But the thing is, we can get on with Hex token. Do you know what? I love going on with Superman. I've been on with him before. He was commenting here earlier. I know that he's probably streaming now, right? He streams at past, pretty much every night. So that's dedication too. Fair play to him. But then again, for him, he's in New Zealand. So for him, it's 12:30 in the day. 12:30 in the day. He takes an hour of his time, 12:30 in the day. That'd be great. Unfortunately, because I do this with a lot of, for largely American style audience, I have to do it at night. But like I said, if it's going to continue like this, I will start moving more towards pre-recorded stuff. But I like to have a bit of banter with you guys. I like to get on there. I've done the pre-recorded stuff before. I've even done writing scripts. I've written a script, and even though it's literally me writing the script to sound like me, it doesn't sound like me. So I think just doing these lives, speaking the way that I want to talk, I think is a lot easier. But then again, we can do that, and we can also do these lives, right? So yeah, so I will be absolutely on with a Hex token. I can tell you that leading up to the Thank You CZ launch, and actually ongoing as soon as it starts, I will be on stream with a lot more. Well, the BNB chain guys. Some of them from previous projects that I've been discussing. Some of them you probably don't know. I can tell you that there are big things happening. I can tell you that, like I posted yesterday, I put a tweet out yesterday. It was actually funny because I had my little tumble. Jacob had been working his nuts off somewhere, and it was kind of quiet. I noticed that it was kind of quiet in the chats. I noticed that there wasn't so much, but then again, these markets, guys, these markets are absolute murder. It's hard to I am the first one to say it's hard to constantly stay bullish and positive when the markets are cutting you down. When the markets are absolutely cutting you down, it's painful. It's painful to see pulse. Let me just, oh my God, I have, let me just have a quick look here. Crypto bubbles. Let's have a look, crypto bubbles. Okay, in the last month, so PLSX down 37%, incentive token down 41%, Pulse down 40%, Cake down 35%, KvltDAO down 23%, Hex down 10%. And actually, Hex is only down 10% because it had a fucking 25 run up yesterday. So Hex would also be way down, right? This is all around the time of the Bitcoin halving. So when you see prices like that, it's okay to be upset. But that's why I keep telling everyone, any of these real tokens that we're in, not these meme stuff that's popping up all the time. Any token that you have real belief in has to be long-term mindset, right? It has to be next year. Where's the price going to be next year? Do I think that the price is going to be higher than when I bought it next year? But I do know it is hard to watch things drop 30 or 40% in a matter of days sometimes. But when they start flying, we love the green candles when they go up 90% or they go up 3x or 5x over a week. We love that. Do you remember how quick PLSP was flying when it launched? When PLSP started, we were all a little bit surprised at the liquidity ratio. We're all a little bit surprised at how much liquidity was in and the prices started at. It was a big surprise. We were all expecting, I think everyone was expecting $5 and it started like 130 or maybe 140. Everyone was like, oh my God, no, why is this happening? And guess what? Within the space of a few weeks, it was at $21. Right. So I think it did like a 16x, I think it was. So yeah, it must have been about 130, 140. It was about a 16x. And now we've had this pullback because the whole market has had a pullback. It's not just us. So this is absolutely going where we want it to go. We still have a hell of a lot of time. Now, think about it. We've got price predictions now coming tonight. We've got more sports events coming up. We've got Thank You CZ, which is coming. We've got Thank You Richard Hart V4, which is coming. We've got the rebranding of all the casinos to onchain.bet, right? Or onchain.bet. We've got all of those coming. This year, we've been told we've got another casino deployment coming, either on Arbitrum or Radix. Now, I am going to end this, but not before we talk about potentially my favorite Jacob project ever. So far, should we say, so far. Right. Let's talk about PUSDxALGO. Anyone that has been in the Telegram chat for PUSDxALGO the last couple of days, read Jacob's messages. I have to say, read Jacob's messages because they're probably, in my opinion, and I'm around quite a bit, I'm in all the chats, my opinion, I think they might be the most bullish messages I've heard from Jacob in the last 2 months. Jacob's back. There's so many moving parts. There's so many moving parts of all these projects. It's difficult to cover them all. Like, look, we've been on for 1 hour and 10 minutes, and I'm only getting to PUSDxALGO. And it's difficult to do just one stream per one project. It's difficult for me to do that because there's so many moving parts and things I want to talk about, things I want to update you guys on all the time, right? One of the things which is really important for PUSDxALGO is that we hit the sacrifice. We have to hit the sacrifice. We're not far away. But then again, I know what it's like. You threw your money into a sacrifice. The prices have gone down. The prices have gone down so much. Half of you are thinking, oh my God, if only I had that money now, I'll throw it into I'd put it into this token. But guess what? You already put something into that token. And if, we all know Jacob, if you sacrificed at the time when that, let's just say you sacrificed a hex for PUSD, right? Not hex. Let's say you sacrifice hex, okay? And you sacrifice hex when the price was up. Now the price is way down. So if you still had that hex, you probably would have sold it. Or you'd probably be looking at it now and saying, oh my God, right? Jacob is the kind of guy that would probably lock in the value of that hex at the time. Because that's how you know to get your tokens, right? So your value is locked in. So you're not losing. Now, the other half of you are probably thinking, oh my God, if I had that, if you sacrifice a stable, for example, right? You say, oh my God, if I had that $500, or if I had that $5,000, or whatever it is, if I had that $500 in stables now, I'd definitely be able to clean up, or I'll be able to get 5 times as much hexes as I wanted back then. But you probably wouldn't, right? Because you would have sacrificed a long time ago. You would have put into something, and the whole market is down. So by being in this sacrifice, you've locked in your value, right? We just need to get the sacrifice done. PUSDxALGO is going to be one of the most innovative tech projects in all of cryptocurrency. In all of cryptocurrency, right? Getting an algorithm, I've said this before, getting an algorithmic stablecoin right is one of the biggest innovations in crypto. PUSDxALGO has the potential to be the first pulse chain originated projects to be forked to other blockchains. Anyone listening, please let that sink in. How else do you think getting eyes on pulse chain is going to work? Tintop, yes, I enjoy doing the lives as well. I really do. I enjoy doing the lives as well. It's really about making sure we have enough of you guys in here to keep the banter going. It's about me not getting too excited about some of these projects that are coming out, because I get sidetracked. I float around a bit of a social butterfly when it comes to these projects, but it's because they all tie in. I see the value of all these things tying in together. Like thank you, Zed, and thank you, Richard Hart, tied in together. There's functionalities of Pulse Predict. Look, there's 2% auto compounding on Pulse Predict by staking PLSP tokens. Where have we seen that before? Okay, right. We saw that over on Thank You, Richard Hart. I'm probably going to see it over on Thank You, CZ. Now, something to remember: auto compounding means fucking free. So listen, even just that by itself should be a little snippet. Another reason why you should be throwing the money at this. Okay, so let's go back to PUSDxALGO, and then I'm going to call it a PUSDxALGO. At the top of this bull market, you're going to want to sell out of a lot of your crypto and put it into stables, or put it back into fiat. But a lot of you guys are going to keep it in stables, right? If you're going to keep it in stables, you put it in stables, you put it in somewhere where you're going to earn some yield on it. There's a lot of people out there now that are giving pretty good yields all over the place, right? But like I think MakerDAO is, I don't know, it's like 6 to 8% or something. And that's on your stables. So imagine you do really well in the bull market, you want to put it somewhere. 6 to 8% doesn't really tickle your fancy. Okay. PUSDxALGO has numerous ways that you can earn tokens. Numerous ways. We won't get into all of them now, because that is for a different. I need to do a designated video for that. I need to do a designated video that you guys can share around or something, because we just need to get the sacrifice done. Because remember, Jacob said even when we hit the soft cap, it's still going to take time to build this thing out. Even though we've had a working prototype for a while, the stability miners work. The protocol itself works. But in order to really do it properly and get it all set up properly and keep this running, and to make it a project which wants to get forked back over to Ethereum or gets forked onto another blockchain, it has to be absolutely shit hot. So, okay, guys and girls, that's it from me. I love you all for staying with me. Thank you very much. If you haven't already, like, subscribe, hit notification bell. If you want to donate to the channel, please do. It is KvltDeFi.pls.fyi, or in the description of the video, there is the address, like an actual address. But if you don't have your Pulse domain, go get one. KvltDeFi.pls.fyi. If you click that, you literally go to a page where you can donate money. What better way? Instead of giving someone a huge address, do you need? do that. Okay, that is it from me. I love you all. You might see me in the Superman. No, you won't. It's too late already. It's too late. If I want to do this tomorrow night, I need to get a good night's sleep tonight. Okay, so good luck. Slán agus Bannock. Talk to you later.